I'm endeavoring to do that tonight. Sunday, do me a huge favor, man. If you're on YouTube, man, hit that like button so we can have a better conversation, get more people up in here.
You are magnificent at intros, and you did not skimp on mine. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that. You know, anytime you come to Club Shay Shay, we have to toast.
Yes.
Bro, you've been doing it.
I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here and lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa.
You know, Ricky Smiley was going to originally do that role, and then, you know what I mean, they called Katt Williams. It was like, nah, we're going to get a role to him. He going to be Santa. Big J, we got Big J in the building. He said, bruh, Katt playing the eluding game, usually reserved for wakes and repasses in the family. I'm on my way in.
The 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds. That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words.
What up, Carlos?
He had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp.
Well, I didn't know
He shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same.
He said he wasn't at the premiere.
Same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything? He beat up Terry Crews. Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he, what? So Ricky Smiley knows this, and I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. It's because, well, why would...
All right, so let me stop it right there because I wanted to ask y'all, how did y'all feel about that shot? I'm not gonna do that. Irregardless and irrespective of whatever my contention or beef or disagreement that I have with this man. I don't need to bring the fact that he just recently lost his
would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with.
Jesus.
Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully. But we're talking about comedy,
right,
where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is, and rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me.
And if you notice, the people that replied never say he was lying. They was playing defense. And Q said there was never rape. Right. That's what, that's crazy. Yep.
No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? That's how I already know that I'm gonna be funnier than you. What he told everybody was Katt Williams, and don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steve and Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set. That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then. He was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, that was Ricky.
That is true, but at the same particular time, Brooklyn, you can't sit up there and say, oh yeah, that ain't, I don't put that in my movies. I don't do that. Trey, Katt is brilliant at marketing. He sprinkled some truth in with some lies and jokes. His ticket sales went up 40% after the interview. Trey, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That's part itself, bro.
Clip, and he said that you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie. Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top face.
Yo, I ain't never gonna lie. I watched both of them shows. Keeping up with what was it called? Keeping Up with Curry. It was something like that, right? And then the Steve Harvey show. I never put two and two together on that. Oh, hold on, I miss Sean. Sean said this dude talked too much shit for a man that said, and I quote, "Ma'am, tell your child to let go, to let me go." Bruh, straight ripped his joke. Real rap. Okay, yeah. Let's get into that.
Making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit.
Trey, it do line up. That's crazy.
Movie star. I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We better not let you drink anymore. The way you. I'm not
feeling bad. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes.
Come on.
Cedric sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach. Sitting over there, why I'm not a movie star. What? He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer. Right. We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
God damn. I had seen a clip of Steve Harvey talking about the Kings of Comedy situation, and they get into that later. So we'll get into that too. Was able to like kind of, you know what I mean, defend Bernie Mac, because I didn't like that. He was trying to frame it like, oh, I'm supposed to be this, but I sit up there and I let them have that so that they could get their shine on and they can do this and they can do that. Hold on. Shout out to homie. Oh, we got my loved one, Ed, in the building. He said a good host. Yes, he is, but he's the biggest hater in the industry. Yeah, Steve Harvey's a good host type of guy. Not real comedian. Santana, I look at Cedric as funny comedic actor, but I don't know about his stand-up. I watched his the old stuff, like the Mike Epps kind of suffered from the Kevin Hart thing with me. Like, it's funny the first time, and then it's like Mike Epps never really like evolved in his comedy to me.
Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No, no.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners
No.
are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history.
Come on.
I don't say any of these things if my name is not breached by these people on your platform. If you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened, it's untrue, and there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
So let me ask you this.
For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't 3 random guys. The way that Ricky Smiley kept appearing at all of my auditions is because of Steven said he would tell anybody that, listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is. They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? Because he's illiterate. He can't read. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of him. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need
Yeah, we're gonna talk about like who versus who. We'll get into that.
to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story?
I'm looking at his face. He's I was about to say come out. Katt Williams is not on drugs. He honestly looking at his face, he's not even drunk for real. Cause I think he kind of, you know, mixing the funny with the truth. You know what I mean? Some of the best roastings I've ever did, you know what I mean, involve the truth. The best way to roast somebody is to use the truth. If they head big, talk about how they head big. If they mama, you know what I mean, got food stamps, talk about how they mama got food stamps. But it's the truth that make it funny. In this situation, he taking the truth. He might mix it with a little bit more funny, might embellish certain details. The group was actually Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and DL Hughley. Santana, I think, because I do agree with you on that. And I don't know if DL Hughley is as Trey. He's not on drugs in the interview, but he's definitely been on drugs before. There's a such thing as functional crackheads. Okay, I see what you're saying. Brooklyn, when you watch the behind the scenes conversations on Kings of Comedy with Bernie Mac and them, you can see the awkwardness and who is the king of comedy on that tour. Oh, Brooklyn, I know exactly what you're talking about. When they was like backstage, like trying to find their suits and like playing cards and stuff like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that.
Of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated. I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy?
God, King, you telling the truth, bro.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the Cowboys. Katt, damn, you like this?
No, that's not.
Okay, what comedians do you like?
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just called a straight. So
why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's some real shit.
I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. Weird face wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's
weird
never
face
been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's
That's true.
God's side and the other side. 24. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
If your name was brought into the fold, you had to address it. Ricky Smiley did it on his morning show. Ice Cube's not a comedian, but Ice Cube went to clear the air up on live or something like that. What's Shad say? Kev didn't blow up until he dressed like a female on Saturday Night Live after he said he would never wear a dress. All right, come on.
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me one more time.
Hold on, real quick. Lord said, I don't know a man named Shay Shay. Bruh, we've been saying that for years. Should no grown man be nicknamed Shay Shay? That's too much. That made me think sashay. You know what I mean? It's too much wiggling in that name. I don't like it.
Right. No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
Right.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell
He playing chess, y'all.
me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me.
Katt, that wasn't a conversation. Again, because I love y'all, we're going, you know what I mean? We're going to call a spade a spade. The argument is not whether or not a studio made, profited or lost money on you, Katt. Whatever that means is whatever that means. But that was a little deflection going on right there, brother. That's not really addressing that, but come on.
That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and
this I believe. I believe everything he's saying right here.
Would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told him to go get the Prowler. I then told him to paint it purple. I told him don't have an actor playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their
Indy say Club Shay Shay got some sass in it.
Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why?
Thanks, Indy.
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that
But
no
I didn't
one's
know it
ever
was a
heard.
lie.
Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard, oh, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon was in a movie, and somebody said, y'all should switch roles. And, like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Katt. Normally, when people are giving you information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time, and they're giving information no one else knows or have ever heard. So I'm taking them at face value.
These are like, this is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget.
Oh my goodness. Trey, you all right, King? He's tap dancing around the truth. Remember, this the same dude that pretended to be a pimp after playing one in a movie.
Get that? You told us it was her, then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals.
Indy said Tiffany is not funny either. Thank you for saying that, Indy, because if I say it is hate, Let's keep it going.
When he got here, have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Tiffany not funny. She hella corny. She just loud. It has the face only a mother can love. Kusai, I'm gonna disagree about the face. Her face ain't bad looking. Kevin Hart been in the game a long time. He came up with Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, and those guys. Yup, I remember Kevin Hart big break with Soul Plane. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't see y'all watch comedy like how I watch comedy. So the plant shit is valid. Like that's a valid argument now. Cause you don't put on a dress. After you specifically said you wasn't gonna put on no dress.
Maybe people don't understand the definition.
Said Tiffany got a sausage ball on her face.
He just did his documentary with.
You talking about that little mole?
Showed you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on
Y'all ain't shit.
the East Coast. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you.
Amen.
Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. Because Shannon Sharpe got...
Why he the same size, standing up, sitting down?
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get that?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing.
You said my title don't match? All right, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that. Shout out Sean. Sean said Miss Colette be knocking down the whole side of the grocery store. All right, Miss Colette, I'm gonna lay off you. You right. I'm doing too much. You right. Blessings to her cute big head ass.
I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no, no, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he has 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars.
Oh, we gotta talk about this. You know what I mean? He tried to come across like, yeah, got it from the mud, did it the hard way, ain't take no shortcuts, done gave blessing to everybody. No. And it showed with the Bernie. Brooklyn, good looking out. You reminded me of that Kings of Comedy behind the scenes thing. I forgot all about that, but you 100% right in that.
I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these
Y'all, Miss Colette can't read good. Come on.
Lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym, but you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
That's a great analogy.
What?
Let's get to your upbringing. We're gonna circle back and we'll get some,
I want to protect him real quick because you had said for the Kings of Comedy, it was in 2018, 2019, but did you mean 1999? Because it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
No, I didn't. No. So what I meant to say was, remember,
Terry Vaughn said Steve was an a-hole. I bet he is.
anymore. I had 7 TV shows. I said he didn't have any of those TV shows at the time.
I know you talking about Cedric.
Joke stealing from Cedric.
Cedric.
Okay.
So you had said that 2018, 2019, but it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, no.
The original Kings of Comedy.
Right. I'm on BET's Comic View, and they're using this as the commercial in 1998. Okay. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So if I said the dates wrong, So
let's go back and clear that up.
Okay.
You said, I had Cedric on here, and I asked him about the joke stealing, and he said the timeline doesn't add up.
Correct.
To that point, you say.
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
Okay.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy.
You know what I realized? I didn't know how rampant the joke stealing shit was. That's really a thing in comedy, bro. I'd be sick. I had to run down on you about my joke for real. And so I'm gonna pray for you, brother. Something wrong with him. Steve going outside, exposed by Katt, daughter for the streets.
Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times, and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just
In that patch.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like,
He called his stomach a patch. Hell no.
Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand...
T-Mac, we all black men, right?
have a problem, but we don't let that change the content because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Do you believe we're this deep?
Don't, you know what I mean? Don't have the homie Shannon looking like that all up on the camera and shit while he, you know what I mean, read the script. I'm gonna skip. Shout out Shannon Sharpe, man, Hall of Famer, doing his thing in the content space. But god damn, man, they made him look super bogus in that little promo right there. Trey, end of the day, I don't believe none of the entertainers. They all have something to gain by telling lies and truths. Oh, Electric Grid, what's going on, man? Been too long, loved one. Been too long, man. I ain't seen you since Jesus was crucified, bro. All I'm gonna say, man, don't film him like that, man. Use the wide lens, man. Back up off his face.
Cincinnati, Ohio, raised in Dayton, Ohio. What was Katt Williams' upbringing like? Your parents were Jehovah's Witness. You were a prodigy. You were brilliant. You talked to me that you got accepted to college at 7 years of age. You could read fluently at 3 years
Mr. Magoo.
So having that kind of knowledge, having that
extra long nose ass.
prodigy, what was your upbringing? How was it? How was life as Katt Williams Crunk coming up?
Say he looked like an old racial cartoon. Looked like a Popeye drawing.
I love to read.
He said nose different color than the rest.
Because they told me when I was young that knowledge was powerful. knowledge
Shiny
of
black versus matte
I
black.
had studied powerful people.
That's a two-tone shit.
My next project was to read the whole encyclopedia set. So when you're like 6, 7 years old, you read the whole encyclopedia set, you think you're one of the smartest people in the world.
Right.
Only to get out in the world and find out you don't know anything, you know? So 10,000 people given a performance with a full suit and tie on, you know what I mean? So for my life, I knew that the applause and the giving of information and laughs and truth to people somehow benefited them and also benefited you. And yeah, so when they would ask me what I wanted to be, everything that I would say that I wanted to be was something that didn't exist. And they would never give me credit for it because I needed to say a doctor or a lawyer, but that's not what I wanted to be.
So your parents...
I'm almost 100 years old right now, but if we go outside right now,
Katt, that's that's my shit, bro. Don't be stealing my shit now. That's my shit. I'm the old nigga.
Or sub. I can do a 416 if I'm.
Oh, there's Jimmy John's across the street. We can order a sub.
Right.
Oh, you been on the submarine? That what you said?
A submersible.
So back then it was even greater. So
The hell he talking about?
that all the coaches want to play.
Man,
things.
Katt, don't do that.
Hold on, because I'm 5'5" in the 5th grade. I've been this size my whole life. Like there was a place in school where I was one of the big dudes. Like as soon as everybody caught their growth spurt, I was out of there. But I'm saying I was a competitive individual. My father was an athlete.
I can see that.
Like, no, I've been 145 pounds my whole career. That's why I never bothered when they said, your Katt's on drugs. I knew, how you gonna prove that? My body is a temple.
I've been the same size since I was 10.
Like, what do you? Yeah, like I haven't changed off this pivot foot. This has always been who I was before stand up or anything. But it was a.
Michael said, Katt Williams will beat you up, King. You right, baby. I'ma leave it alone. You right. Before he sit up there, come to Baltimore, whip my ass. You right.
Interesting childhood. I appreciate my parents, even though I couldn't live within the religious frameworks of what they had set up. But that was more not wanting to live a double life and not want to embarrass my family. You know what I mean?
Because I read where a form of punishment for you is that they would take books because you mentioned you were such a voracious reader. And a form of punishment was when they would take the books for them because you could read fluently. You told me how at like 3 or 4 years old, you could read, not just a little child's book, but you could read.
Well, I'm saying when we go to Haiti to do missionary work, understand that my mother and my father, nobody that's there with us.
Who said, damn, he's short.
So I'm in charge of everything, from the housing to the cars to the gardener. Like I'm saying, so I'm not just reading. I'm reading in multiple languages. Like I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year.
But y'all know what I'm thinking. Come on.
Drive at 12, you received a full scholarship to the National Science Academy in Dayton, Ohio. But you failed, so you would become ineligible. Why didn't you want to take that opportunity?
I didn't see it as an opportunity. When I got in there, all the students were wearing lab coats.
Okay, you saying I can see that? Okay.
And nobody seemed like they were having fun. It just seemed like everybody was smart. I didn't want that. That wasn't what I was signing up for at all. And plus, I thought that I was.
Depending on the book, right?
My big homie. So you know how you get a story about a dude joined a gang and you get a big homie, right? Like at this particular point in my life, my thought is that the Bible is the greatest book that's ever been written.
Okay.
That it houses the truth, and that it gives you this story of.
Hey Ed, amen, bro. Amen.
Okay.
So it's already in my head that as soon as I get 13, I'm leaving.
3,000 books sound like a stretch. Thank you, Santana. But I'm 100% with you on that. 3,000 books. Come on, Katt.
You weren't afraid? I mean, you like, did you?
Hold on.
Did you not have? So what were you gonna do when you got to Florida?
Don't say I wasn't afraid. There's no such thing as a human being of not being afraid.
Okay.
There are certain human beings that
Sean said bullocks.
being afraid.
I'm with you, bro. Bullocks.
Doing what you got to do.
Okay.
So I was afraid, but I couldn't be that afraid because I knew what had happened with Jesus. I knew how it worked out. I knew that I wasn't in the wrong with how I was feeling, and I knew that I didn't have any bad intentions in it.
Right.
So I trusted God that it would work out.
Why Florida?
Yeah.
Because
Indy, you right.
you're raised in
You right.
Ohio, the one thing on your list is I'm gonna get away from snow, and I'm gonna get as far. I want to go. Tell me the place. I literally went to a truck stop and I asked all the truck drivers where they was going, and there was one guy going to California and there was one guy going to Florida, and they told me how long it was gonna take, and so that's why I ended up in Miami.
How'd you get there? You caught a bus? Or...
No, I just told you. I was at the truck stop.
So you
let me.
hitchhiked?
I didn't hitchhike. I got in the back of the dude's 18-wheeler, me and my Rottweiler puppy and my suitcase. Yeah, because I probably had $2,500 on me, like I was shoveling snow and cutting grass. Like I always had pockets full of money.
When did you make the decision that you were gonna leave Ohio?
So anything that I'm going to do is going to fall out of the guidelines.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you tell me what I'm going to be.
I didn't know none of that about Katt Williams. I didn't know he grew up in like a religious type of environment. That's interesting.
Doesn't coincide with what I've been reading in the Bible.
That's what it was.
I ain't have a father or nothing like that, but I had a shorty I was dealing with, and she used to be like, King, I had a dream that you was sitting up there and you was fucking with woo-de-woo-de-woo. I had to get away from her, man. That bitch was crazy. Come on.
That's when you made the decision. After that conversation right there, you say, nah, I can't live under this roof.
It wasn't a conversation. It was an altercation. In the altercation, I love my father. My father loved me. But we are two men at it. Right, but I'm saying that generally happens with a father-son dynamic. It was just that religious relationships are always difficult in families.
Protecting his father.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there, Katt.
Yeah.
I saw what you did. You was in an altercation. You didn't say you lost. You said you was in an altercation.
Yeah. So as long as I'm going to be under his roof, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
Ed, right, bro. Shannon knew that. Like, Shannon knew what he was trying to say without saying it, bro. He trying to protect his, you know what I mean, his family.
And I'm saying I had two younger brothers. Like, I'm not an unreasonable person. Like, I don't have any mental issues.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, Ed. I was thinking the same thing in my mind. Like, yeah, me and my pops, you know what I mean? We done got into it.
So how was their relationship with your father?
Me and my pops, we fought over a piece of chicken. We tore up the refrigerator in the kitchen and some more shit, man. My mom came out the room. Stop! We was into it, man. I told Pop, don't touch my chicken, man. He was like, hold on, this is my house. I said, I don't give a bop. And it was on from there.
Were you not afraid to leave them?
Well, I asked because it went all the way to the actual department, so it was actually going to be something. And when I asked them if they could just make sure that my
right, Nene, it is interesting,
separated and what have you, they said they couldn't make those type of guarantees, that they weren't really sure what would happen if this went down. And so part of leaving was the hope that it would be okay for them, because none of them experienced what I experienced. I'm saying I'm the oldest. It's a lot riding on me. I'm supposed to at least religiously hold down the family's name at this household. Right. You know what I mean?
How much older are you than the baby and the knee baby? And somebody else told the story, said they were
probably all happen around the same age too.
They hijacked your story. Now I don't.
At 13, I shouldn't have to tell you I'm homeless. I'm in Miami, Florida. I have no family members in Florida. I couldn't buy a house if I wanted to. I couldn't get an apartment if I wanted to. I don't have a credit history. Like, This is not a stretch for me to say that I'm homeless. I'm living in a park in Coconut Grove. The park still exists to this day. For 8 hours a day, I would get up and go to the library and study for 8 hours a day to increase my education. And then I would leave out of there and go to the marina and steal car radios and make $2,000 almost daily. No, the Santa Claus wasn't a thief. The Santa Claus, you can't tell me. I read the script. Ricky Smiley told you he didn't read the script. The
Here you go.
Santa Claus was a crackhead. He just had that outfit on. If anything, it saved my life. Me being homeless for that small period of time allowed me to see all of the people that were in that situation and to see that these were lawyers and doctors and teachers, and that these people were white and black and Asian and Indian. And the only thing that all of these homeless people had in common was they made a bad decision and aligned themselves with drugs. And I interviewed them all. What drug? What? And guess what, Shannon? Nobody had a great story. Nobody had a great story of what meth had done for them, what crack had done for them, what cocaine had done for them, what heroin had done for them, what speed had done for them. Nobody had them stories. Everybody's story was, I had my life together. And then I decided to do this dumb thing. And I lost my wife, I lost my house, I lost my cars, I lost my reputation, and I'm now out here sucking penis. Talk about scared straight. You ain't got to worry about me.
What?
If it ain't weed and nicotine, you won't see me touching it. I don't want no parts. I done seen what these things can do to people.
That's funny.
The thing that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Have you ever thought about what
Mafi, holy shit, we got the homie Mafi in the building. He said he was telling the truth. You don't say all that and not be telling the truth. Man, blessings to the homie Mafi. Mafi, it's so good to have you, bro. You came through right on time, man. We chopping up on this Katt Williams shit, bro. I've seen Katt do this same thing in stand-up, have a very, like, serious, you know, like, demure kind of tone. The thing with this interview that I'm trying to, like, you know what I mean, extract from y'all, or just really just, you know, go on a mental safari with y'all about is, you know what I mean? And they can carry themselves with a certain, they can say things with a certain level of conviction that make you believe it. It don't necessarily constitute it as the truth. It don't necessarily mean that, Crave, what's going on? He said, what up, King? Made it in late. But really what I'm trying to get to is, what do y'all believe versus what you don't believe? Was he keeping it hot? Was he embellishing in certain things? You know what I mean? That's what we doing here tonight, man.
I thought it was what I was made for. I thought it was what I was built for. Anybody that knows me will tell you that when they first met Katt Williams, when I was Cat in the Hat, and they tell these stories about how he changed his name. Look, yeah, I was Cat in the Hat. They sent me a cease and desist letter, and I'm not even making $25,000 a year.
You're right. It don't feel forced. I agree.
Disney has sent me a cease and desist telling me I can't use any variations of that name. Fine. I'm Katt Williams. That's all that happened. I have been this same product the entire time. They will tell you when they first saw me doing stand-up, I was just like this. No, I loved what they did, and so I studied them, all of them. I studied.
You said Lululemon?
Because I wanted to know why is Monty.
He do got that Lululemon on.
Don not so talented. I wanted to know.
Man, you'll take that.
Like where? So I studied.
All right, you right. I'm gonna stop.
Masters, regardless of the field, because I loved to laugh. I didn't know that these people
T-Mac, you got one too.
great living at doing this. I thought this is just what they did. They tell jokes. They're funny people. But I loved the
Dressed like
and that's why when I
a
got
zesty coffee shop drink.
I thought it was my obligation to make sure that I kept writing new material so much that it forced these comedians to stop doing the set they've been doing for 10 years.
My girl got the same
I
one.
knew that if I could get that have to take on.
That tight ass
Most of
shit.
These bums will have to just quit comedy because they can't keep up. They're not gonna keep writing an hour worth of material.
Right.
I've written an hour worth of material 19 times.
Right.
They're not gonna do it.
Katt Williams is a workhorse. You can definitely tell the man's a workhorse in terms of just it was probably like 3-4 different outfits in the wardrobe, bro. I was like, all right, Shannon, you know, we got the Katt interview today. Which one of these you like? He was like, that one. He was like, that one, Skip. Yeah, he got skims, bro.
Why? Because they're not.
That's a nasty ass
I
fit.
want to get somebody else and have them write it and put it together.
You do that set in Kansas City, people ain't heard it in San Francisco. People ain't heard it in Miami. They ain't heard it in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, so forth and so on. Now you do a set, it's on the internet. Somebody heard it. So you can't do a set and make it last 3 months, 4 months.
It doesn't allow the regular comic the ability to grow is the real problem. Like, the part of comedy is me taking these jokes in January, and by March, I've begun to craft this joke.
Okay.
It's not as simple as it was. When I wrote it, it was just da-da-da-da-da. But now it has the complexities of the fact that I'm having to deliver this to an East Coast audience, a down South audience, a Midwest audience, a Utah audience, a Colorado audience.
Right.
And so it begins to take on a different complexion because you're having to deliver it to different people.
Okay.
And so this is what sharpens your joke. You then take those sharpened jokes and make a special, not you.
Coming up for me, that was always, you know, important. Like, be original, have your own lingo, have your own way of doing things, your own way of walking, talking, dressing, everything like that. So to hear him express, he had a lot on his mind. Because I can imagine sitting at the crib, you watching these different interviews and people speaking on situations that you don't necessarily agree with or you don't view it that way. And it's like, wait. Hold on. You saying this? You don't have a what did he say? He said Cedric don't have a special on Netflix or Tubi. That's gonna kill me for the rest of the week. But I feel him on that. You know what I mean? But that fit is abominable, man. Yeah, that's a fit for a woman. You know, with a nice little curvy shape or something like that. That ain't no fit for no man.
Just randomly take some. So it's a process. You don't allow them to process if the first time the guy did the joke, now that's his joke and the joke is everywhere. That just sets it up.
Oh, wait, hold. I missed a couple comments. Big J said, bruh, I can't say shay when it relates to men. Right, that's what I'm saying. That mean, frisky. You know what I mean? Risque. No, man, it's too many A's, bro. It's making me feel some type of way. I ain't with it. He's separating comics from internet comics, IG, Vine, YouTube comics. It's different. Some can't go on stage like him and be funny. Right. Exactly. You know, it's a comedian from the town, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I met her at the airport. You know what I mean? Lovely soul. It's gonna be stuck on him. He gonna have to peel it off. I think comics steal from each other. Someone said Katt stole from JB. That's love. That's love right there. You know what I mean?
Before you're done with it.
I ain't got a bad thing to say about him.
That's not fair. If it's great, never. if it ceases to have usefulness, no.
That's not true.
No, that whole story doesn't take place in Florida. That story takes place in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So after I'm in Florida, I then join, I try to join the Marine Corps and they won't accept me because I'm too young and I've lied and told them I'm 16 and my family's moving down and I don't have my ID, but it's coming. And
Switch, damn, y'all done made bro switch platforms, man.
so they let me go to the boot camp, That's not gonna work now. Okay, so I've learned that lesson. So then I get this job selling.
Blessed to everyone in here, man. One nation, man.
The country, and so I've been to all 50 states. Again, I'm 14 years old. So I did that.
If you're on Twitch, go to YouTube, hit that like button, man.
One of the places I'm at, I'm in Oklahoma.
If you're on YouTube, come to Twitch real quick, hit that follow button. Blessings to y'all.
While I'm doing that, one of the places I'm at, I'm in Oklahoma, and I've decided I'm going to stay here because of meeting these ladies that you're talking about and that situation. I don't know at the time why that's important in my life or why it's something I should be doing or any of that. But now later on, it certainly helps me in formulating Money Mike for Friday After Next.
Right.
And Pimp. Once I have a child, I realize that
Candy said, "I do not believe Ice Cube." That's crazy. We could talk about that too. We could definitely talk about that because Ice Cube sat up there and said, and we addressed it earlier in the show, but to address it again, you can't run that game. You know what I mean? You can't run that game on the population, man. Come on.
I can't. It's a lot of things that I could use to make money that now is a no-go. So anything with street aspirations that I might have thought about pursuing or been good at, I now am a single parent and I gotta redo this thing. So I need comedy to really work out for me.
Right.
And me and God go into extreme conversation where I'm explaining to him that I'm a crash out dummy if he don't send me a lifeline. Like I need something I can hold on to. Before I had left Florida, I did stand up one time because we was trying to get in the club. I didn't have ID. So I said I was a comedian. They ended up having me for 5 minutes. But I kept that in
Somebody
mind
car.
because I had done that. When we get to Oklahoma, they're having a competition for stand-up, and if you win, you get to go out on the road with Jeff Foxworthy and Dan Whitney, who is Larry the Cable Guy, and Richard Jenny, and these great comics. You get to open for them. And once I did that, I realized, okay, as a comedian, I'm like way behind schedule. I done started this too late. All the funny guys are already funny and known names. Like, how am I going to progress? So I realized that I do better with a white audience than I do with a black audience. And I'm not sure why that's occurring, but the white audience likes me more. That's interesting. So when I moved to Sacramento, it's because Sacramento has a white and a black audience almost 50-50. That's almost the makeup of Sacramento. So I live in Sacramento for 2 years until I get to the point where I am equally as funny if the room is black as I am if the room is white.
Right.
That's not enough. Now I need to be one of the good ones when it comes to black comics. So now I have to move to Oakland, and that's what lands me in Oakland for 3 years. Once I have dominated, now I know you can't throw me any curveballs. If it's a white audience, if it's a black audience, no matter what they are, I'm prepared to deal with all of the audiences.
Do you write jokes according to the audience that you're going to be in front of, or is your joke universal?
Well, in the beginning, part of my framework is that I'm tailoring every show to this audience.
Okay.
And that's how I was able to show my range and show that I was better than my competitors, is that I'm Katt Williams, but I was still doing clean comedy. So I was still going to churches and doing 45 minutes of stand-up at the church with no curse words, no sex, drug material, no none of that, just straight stand-up. And then I was doing everything else. And at
the regular club.
Yeah, that was the range, is that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's how I started.
The bathroom scene with Katt and Terry Crews was an attempt. Right. So again, just like you said, Lord, like you could kind of see like what they was trying to implicate with the whole Money Mike, Damon, you know what I mean? That within the movie, you can see what they was doing with that. So then, you know, and this is we talking about Ice Cube. Don't go on live later and sit there and say, no, it wasn't gonna be nothing like that. You know what I mean? We wasn't on nothing like that. Like that's not true. That's incorrect. And he was very diplomatic in the way he do it, and it's nothing but love and respect for Ice Cube, because at the same time, I'm old enough to remember Death Certificate. I'm old enough to remember just the I'm with Katt on that one.
Begin to get better, you begin to be able to speak to your entire fan base. And that's really what's been helpful, is that
They said Shannon Sharpe talk like he eat peanut butter jellies with no milk.
Is that you can do a comedy, do 45 minutes in the church. I can go to a comedy club in front of 250, or I can go into an arena with 15,000.
because I'm talking to my white male friend when I'm telling that white joke.
Right.
When I'm talking about this joke about this black lady, I know that black lady. That's who I'm talking to. I'm speaking to this fan base that I've been speaking to from the beginning. I already told them what I was on when I first came in. I told them they was gonna come after me. They was gonna cancel me. They was gonna say terrible things about me and try to mess my life up.
Katt's been speaking on a lot of stuff for a long time.
You knew it was gonna be.
It has to be. I know I'm going into the belly of the beast. How could I be naive? I know that I'm going into Satan's playground, but I'm trying to be so good that you got to bring me in so close that I can see who's doing what and what's going on in there.
Yes.
Because my particular background was already
Boxy Mexican, what up, bro?
super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion. I don't.
He said Shannon built like a moose wearing velvet.
I want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue. I don't want to learn about Muslim people from. I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church.
Okay.
Right.
So that was the religious discovery that I was on through that period in my life.
10 years ago.
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
So you didn't think as a child, because obviously you said the very structured background, your family was very religious. So obviously you didn't get an opportunity.
I never did a talent show. I was never in any extracurricular activities. I was never in drama. I was never in band camp. I was never a Boy Scout.
And you didn't stay in school long enough to get funny because you dropped.
You understand? You understand? So there was no, I don't tolerate high school games. I didn't go to high school.